February energy forecast happening today. What's up, everybody? I'm super excited. We're here. It's February 2026 officially. We also have a full moon tonight, which is very exciting. And I am here to give you all of the energy insights, the energy forecast of the month. We're going to do a card pull. We're also going to talk about the astrology. We're also going to tap into the energy and see what channeled messages come up as we do. I'm just pulling up all of my notes for my astrology stuff, and then we can get right into it. Happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Sunday. How are y'all feeling? Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know how you're feeling today. It is a full moon today, so I know a lot of you are probably feeling that Leo energy from the full moon. It can be very fiery and intense, especially since that Leo full moon is a aligned energy to the fire horse year that we're in. Okay, we're in the year of the fire horse, and I know it can be really intense when we're already feeling fire to have more fire loaded onto us for a full moon at that. It is our technically our last full moon of the snake year, because we have March 21st being the official new year, and so we might have one more full moon. Actually, let me think about that, because I feel like I don't know if that's actually true. So I know I saw, let's look at it. Let's actually look at the transits, because I saw that online. And before I quote someone else's stuff, we got to do our own research, y'all. We got to do our own research. Let me look at March. So March, we have March 3rd, a full moon in Virgo. I would call that technically the last full moon of the snake year. I do know that the calendar year, in the Chinese astrology calendar year, is sometimes different. So maybe that's what they were referring to. But essentially, the full moon in Leo today is one of the last of the snake year. I'll say that. And the snake is all about shedding skin. It's all about releasing energy. And I know all of you know exactly what that's like, because we all experienced it all of 2025. And it's one of those things that we just have to move through. Think about the snake when it's literally shedding its skin. It's uncomfortable, it's writhing, it's like trying to squeeze out of this old, tight, shriveled up energy, right? And so we are still in that process. And so for some of you who may feel like, man, I still just haven't felt that new year energy yet, I still haven't gotten that zest of 2026, that feeling of the fire horse, the feeling that things are moving. Maybe you're still feeling a little stagnant. Maybe you're still feeling a little bit delayed or behind in certain plans, or feeling just a little lackluster in your energy or even in your beliefs. Trust the process, y'all. Trust the process. It's going to be okay. I promise you that, especially with this full moon in Leo tonight for February 1st, we are tapping into a specific energy that is helping us burn away what is not serving us. And think about when you're burning away something that's not serving you. The process of burning something away is a intense one. It can be painful. It can be laborious. It can also be very quick and very aggravating. And so you all might be feeling, some of you who are in that energy of feeling like you're still not all the way in the new year 2026 energy yet, you may be feeling a little bit of that, like, agitation. And that's okay. That's okay. Let the agitation be channeled into activation. And what I mean by that is when you let yourself feel the frequency and the emotions and even have the thoughts that align to that agitation feeling, I don't want you to push it away. I don't want you to try to get rid of it. I want you more so to give yourself an opportunity to what's the word? Like, give yourself an opportunity to kind of embrace it in a way of not attaching to it, but in a way of being the alchemist. So it's like, how can you use it? Like, give yourself the permission to utilize that agitation and manifest it into creativity, into motivation, into inspiration, into alignment to something that you know you've been wanting to do, that now you have this like pent up energy and you have the the drive to get it done, right? Shout out to my YouTube fam. I just want to check in because I want to make sure that YouTube is up and running. Sometimes we have little glitches when I first start a live. So if you're on YouTube, or if any of you on TikTok have my YouTube channel, Rissa Vibes, if you could check, maybe I can check on my iPad too. Check and see if I'm coming up on YouTube. Okay. I want to make sure before I get too deep into this reading. Let me see if I can see it myself. Okay, yeah, we live. We live. We live. How fun that I can look at myself while I'm live. Okay, period. So, with that being said, now that I know we're on and popping for February, the February card for the month, okay? The February card for the month from my annual card reading that I did on the 1st of January, 2026. I do a annual card reading every single year, all right, on the 1st of the month at 1:11 p.m. Eastern time, every single year, okay? And this year I did one, and I do the same thing every year. I pull a card for every month of the year to forecast and predict the energy, just to give us a little bit of an awareness of what to expect. And, you know, I say forecast loosely because you got to remember that we're not going to be able to predict everything. Okay. I've been an intuitive, a professional intuitive and psychic for over 11 years now. And well, I guess it's been 10. This is my 10th year. So over 10 years now. And I can tell you, there's no way to predict everything, no matter how good of a psychic or intuitive you are. And I've met really, 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 really good psychics and master psychics. And I consider myself to be one as well. And you're not meant to know everything that's going to happen, because if that was the case, then what would be like, where would we get excitement? Like, how would we, that wouldn't be fun. That just wouldn't be fun to know everything. Like, part of the fun of life is the mystery of life, right? But the forecasts that I do annually every year, and when we do these monthly ones to kind of break down the energy even more from what the card was in the annual card reading, when we do these things, it helps us to prepare. It helps us to focus our attention on things that we may need to be extra perceptive of and extra aware of to help our growth and evolution spiritually. And that's always my intention when I do these readings for all of you and for myself, is to really give us an opportunity to see the blueprint of what's to come. And think about it, when we have a blueprint for a new house we're building, or a new business or a building or something, you have this outline of how you want it to look and what you want to do with the space that you have, with the opportunity you have. But you also can't know for sure if those plans are going to go exactly according to plan, because oftentimes the contractor doesn't have that tile that you wanted for the backsplash, or, you know, the timing didn't work out because there's weather issues, or, you know, there's something changes in the middle of your plan and you're like, oh, actually I want to change the rearrangement of this room or this space, or I want a spiral staircase instead of a regular staircase, right? So there's always different shifts in the plan, nuances to the plan, things that are, you know, subject to change. But the forecast that we do here gives us the blueprint, the rough estimate, the rough draft, if you will, so that we can even go in with more of a refined perspective to give that final draft energy and experience that final draft as it unfolds, knowing what it is that we're focusing on and what our intention should be in order to grow in the ways that we want to grow in our life, right? So February's card, first of all, January's card real quick, was the Hanged Man, okay? Hanged Man. And that card was all about surrender. And I talked about it in the annual card reading. We did a full breakdown of January in the annual card reading, since we were already on that day in January. And, you know, we talked about the importance of letting go of needing to control your circumstance, your environment, your position in life, okay? And just being able to trust as I'm about to sip my slippery elm. By the way, y'all, I lost my voice. I had some laryngitis the last 2 weeks and it was really intense, which is also to me very symbolic of this Leo new full moon energy and burning away things. But we're meant to trust the process, okay? We're meant to trust the process. And when we're in a situation like losing our voice as a singer and as a coach and counselor, where all that I do is my voice, or whether you experience something like a financial experience that was unexpected, financial things that kind of put you in a little bit of a bind, or even like unexpected news from a family member or a partner, when we're put in these situations that we can't control, we have to surrender. Doesn't mean that we are happy about it. Doesn't mean that we're fully accepting it or attached to that experience, especially when it's uncomfortable. But it does mean that we are going to stop trying to fix things that probably don't need to be fixed, and stop trying to control things that can't be controlled, right? So double tap if that resonates to you. So that was the card for January. Don't try to control things that you're not meant to control. Trust the process. Release need to get yourself out of things that you can't seem to get yourself out of yet. Probably means you're not meant to. So just kind of hang there and surrender, trust the process, and let the universe do what it needs to do. So for February, jumping off of that card, the Hanged Man in January, February is the Fool. The Fool, okay? And it's Boo Boo the Fool, to be real. Which I wonder if I can find that card because it's actually so awesome. And Boo Boo the Fool is, it can be taken a couple different ways. And I want you to refrain from taking it. Here it is. I want you to refrain from taking it in the sense of like you're, dumb, idiot, fool. It's not that much. I'm showing TikTok and YouTube, but y'all, if you're watching on YouTube, put it in the chat. Let me know where you're joining from. If you're watching on TikTok, let me know where you're joining from. But Boo Boo the Fool, okay, take a look at that card. And so this was our card for February. And it's less about being an idiot or being, careless or anything like that. And it's more so about the energy of innocence and playfulness and a sense of kind of zero F's given, like zero fucks given energy, kind of like this, just like carefree, lighthearted, fun, flowy energy. Okay, that's what I want you to think of when it comes to Boo Boo the Fool. And what that does, take a look even closer to the message underneath the picture. Okay, possibilities and potential. Possibilities and potential open up when we allow ourselves to be more carefree, to be more lighthearted, to be more playful with life. So after we've experienced the hangman, and we had to stop writhing, and even that's part of the snake, right? We're like writhing and we're like trying to get out of this like uncomfortable situation. But at some point we have to recognize we've done all that we need to do to get out of it. And now we just need the skin to fall away, the skin of the old skin of the snake to fall away. We've already gotten most of ourselves out of it. And now the rest is just falling off. We don't need to do too much, right? So the Hanged Man was kind of like, we've already done what we need to do. Now we just get to let the rest unfold and happen. And that allows for a certain level of carelessness, not carelessness in a reckless way, but like zero fucks given. Like I can't do any more than I've already done. And once you activate that energy, you step into that Boo Boo the Fool for February, where you're like, you know what? I actually enjoy this feeling of not caring as much as I did. I enjoy the feeling of not taking things so seriously. I'm enjoying the feeling of just no longer feeling like I've got to control everything, or that everything is my responsibility to fix, and that I have to, go in and make everything right if it's not feeling comfortable. No, actually, you get to just enjoy the experience of being lighthearted, carefree, and playful. Now that you've surrendered, let the energy be in flow. And we talked about as well the zero up here at the top, which was so in alignment to the 10-year that we're in, right? 2026, 2 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10, which is the 1 and the 0. And we talked about that in the annual reading, where we are aligning with the 1 to the void space of the 0, allowing for the void space, which is the empty space, the ability for new openness, an openness, a new fresh, clean slate, a new space to be emptied, so that so that spirit really can fill it with what's actually in alignment. And when we're in that controlling energy, like with the Hanged Man, we're trying to control our position. We are trying to fill this void with all these things that are actually not in alignment. And spirit is forcing us this year, especially, to allow ourselves to relax into the empty space, relax into the void, relax into the mystery. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know how things are going in order to appreciate how they are. You don't have to feel like you got to be full and attached to all these things. You can let all of that go. You can let all of that go and let new energy flow in without controlling it, without forcing it, but instead just allowing what's meant to be in your life to show up and not trying to force it to show up. Okay. So we're going to pull a couple cards with Boo Boo the Fool to get a little bit more clarification. Double tap if this is resonating so far. Double tap if you are enjoying this. And also put a 111 in the chat if this is your first time seeing one of my lives and you just like kind of landed on this unexpectedly. Because if so, welcome to the tribe. Welcome to the Soul Tribe. This is what we do every single first of the month at 1:11 p.m. Eastern time, give or take a few minutes, because sometimes I'm on my way to getting things set up and I gotta run and grab something or readjust my lighting or whatever. So thank you for the grace time in that. But yeah, welcome to the tribe. Let us know where you're tuning in from and let us know what your intention is for February. Do you have something you're calling in? Because here in this community, we support each other in calling things in. We support each other in sending love and energy towards the things that we're wanting and the things that we're asking for in our life. And yeah, I just want to support that. So feel free to put in the chat what your intentions are, no matter if you're joining new or if you're somebody who joins all the lives. And then also, these are two decks. Also, y'all, February, I've got the Conscious Life Expo, the 20th through the 23rd. We're going to be in Los Angeles at the LAX Hilton for the Conscious Life Expo. I will be doing a past life regression group session, guided meditation group journey for past life regression on Friday at noon. And then I've got a starseed panel, I think it's all about, emerging in the new awakening or something. I'm already forgetting the title, to be honest. But they put me on a panel, which is really fun. And that's going to be Saturday morning, I think at 9:30 a.m. at the expo. And then every single night of the expo, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I have curated and have been put in charge as the music director to curate the official after party of the expo. It's a multi-sensory, multi-dimensional music and entertainment experience called the Vibes Vortex. And I'm going to be performing Friday, Saturday night. We also have a ton of other performers like Mellow Will, Shariah Wise, Peachka, Ashira Soul, Maya, Sunrise the Divine. We've got sound healing. We've got energy support. We've got so many things at that after party. You're not going to want to miss it. So if you do want to be in a space where there are conscious people all around you having conscious conversation, and there's lectures and workshops for you to learn more about consciousness in every way you could possibly imagine, really high vibe food, high vibe vendors, all sorts of ascension tools and things that you can tap into. Bashar is going to be channeling. We've got Billy Carson there doing a lecture, George Norrie, so many other people. And so if that's something that you feel called to do, because maybe you've been feeling a little bit alone in your spiritual journey and you want to be around people who get it, and you want to have a safe space to go and talk about the things you're curious about with consciousness, please click the link in my bio and go ahead and get yourself a ticket. the basic ticket to get access to so many events. All of them are free as far as the basic ticket goes. And plus the Vibes Vortex for the whole weekend is only $125. Really, really affordable for 3-day expo in LA. So definitely check that out. You can also get higher ticket items for like some of the lectures like Bashar and Billy Carson, etc., and some of the other like things. But go check it out, because I really do believe like this is the year for us to come together shamelessly, unapologetically in our authentic expression and exploration of consciousness. And what better portal to step into to do that than the Conscious Life Expo, February 20th through the 23rd. So definitely come out and vibe with us there. Oh no, you guys, my slippery elm is like chunky. Ew. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna sip the top and not the bottom. I just realized there's like a whole chunk of my slippery elm that is like not, it is not blended, but that's okay. I'm going to take a sip anyway to help my throat, because your girl is still coming off of this laryngitis. Hence my sexy raspy voice right now. I've got that sexy raspy voice right now, which I'm here for. It's better than not having a voice at all, which was my experience last week. And as a singer who's preparing for one of the biggest shows of her year, I was a little freaked out, y'all. But we bouncing back. Voice is getting stronger by the day, just in time for the rehearsals to be grounded in fully for the performance. So yes, you'll be able to catch my music, high vibe hip hop, starseed pop. We're kind of blending the two and also having a night for each of those, Friday, Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're doing kind of like this freestyle cypher and this conscious club. Ooh, there's ravens flying at me. Whoa. That is a message, y'all. The raven is a magical, magical bird. So that was just spirit letting us know that there's going to be some serious magic happening at the Conscious Life Expo and Vibes Vortex. And that if you are wanting to experience some of that energy and mysticism, the void space being such a also symbolic representation linked to the raven, then definitely tap in with us. Okay, for February, let's talk about it. I actually think the slippery elm was not doing what I needed it to do for a second. Okay, let's talk about February. February with Boo Boo the Fool being lighthearted, blissful, playful, a little bit carefree, not careless, but more so carefree, I guess is a better connotation. We also are going to be wanting to apply this carefree, playful, like open to new experiences kind of energy. We want to play into that with our decision making in February, okay? Making decisions. And a lot of you are being called to start making decisions differently. This is a matter of discernment, okay? How are you discerning in your life? How are you discerning your decision making? How are you discerning what type of relationship you're in or who you're connecting with? How are you discerning your environments? How are you discerning your next move, your next focus, right? The decisions that you make in February are meant to be made differently than you usually make decisions. We're not making decisions in a very practical, logical, think everything out, analyze everything, over neurotic. We're not doing that in February, okay? We're supposed to be Boo Boo the Fool when we're making decisions. We don't know what decision to make. We don't know exactly which path is best. We don't know if we should do this thing or that thing or say yes or no. We just don't know. We're feeling a little carefree though. We're like, we don't really care. We're not meant to get too hung up on making the wrong decision. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. We're not meant to get too hung up on making the wrong decision in February. Instead, we're meant to challenge ourselves to make decisions differently. How can you make decisions differently than you did in 2025 and in January? Can you be more carefree in your decision making? Can you be more playful in your decision making? Can you be more open and less rigid in your decision making, right? And really what that breaks down to when it comes to decision making is being able to discern from a place of delight. So I'm hearing spirit saying, be excited about making decisions. Approach decision making from a more excited space. I think a lot of us, that's such a good message, Spirit. I feel like a lot of us make decisions from a very serious space. Like when you think about making a decision, you're like, your forehead probably frowns up like mine. It's like, no, can we be excited to make a decision instead of worried that we're going to make a bad decision or worried that we're going to make the wrong decision and feel all serious and rigid about it? Can we be excited and be like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know what decision to make right now, but I know whatever decision I make, it's going to be the right one because spirit already made it for me. And all I get to do is just follow the motions, like go with the motion. And the best way to go with the spirit of decision is to align to your intuition. What is your gut saying? What is your intuition saying? What is the magnetism you're feeling? Is it pulling you in one way or the other when you're thinking about the decision? And can you get excited about the energy of intuition that you feel that's helping you discern that? Can you be playful? Can you laugh? Can you dance? Can you frolic in the opportunities and possibilities that you're getting, that you are opening yourself up to, the possibilities and potential? Look, it says it right there. The decisions that you make when you make it from a very playful space have no other reason but that alignment to give you what you want. Give you what you want. So when you're making decisions, don't be so serious. Make decisions from a place of delight, from a place of excitement, from a place of intuition. Follow the magnetism. Even if it doesn't make logical or practical sense, let that go. Stop being rigid. Stop being over analytical. Stop being neurotic, and unfurl your unfurl your unfurl your brow. That was crazy. Unfurl your brow. I don't know why I'm trying to say it again like I can, but do that. Okay. Relax the forehead. Okay. We don't need no wrinkles in 2026. Okay. We get to just be excited and joyous and grateful for the new possibilities and potential we're stepping into as we dance through life, in the blissfulness of not knowing what's to come, but allowing yourself to be playful and excited in it, whatever it is. Okay. And then once you allow yourself to make decisions from that dancing, laughter, playful, open space, and you're feeling really grateful about it, you're feeling a lot of gratitude for that possibility and potential to be realized, listen to spirit, listen to the energy. And listening is also more so sensing and observing. It's not always actually hearing something, though that can be the case. Listening in this form is also sensing. Like once you make a decision, listen or sense and observe how your life shifts after making that decision. Do you see things start to shift in a positive way? Or are you starting to see things get a little bit more foggy? If they're getting a little more foggy, then maybe you get to look back at that decision and maybe you get to refine it, or you get to pivot a little bit, or you get to make another decision that's going to help it get a little bit more, feel a little bit more clear and light and open. If you make a decision and you feel more rigid or more constricted, or you feel like you're getting put back in that uncomfortable hangman energy from January, maybe that's the time to think about the decision and say, okay, let me refine it. Is there a way that I can shift a little bit or choose something a little bit different to help this situation become a little bit less constricting? And that's you listening. That's you listening to the energy. That's you listening to your intuition. That's you listening to the situation and observing the situation, listening to your higher self, listening to your spirit guides, listening to God, source, universe. Listen for more clarity. Listen for more information. Okay. That's the process of decision making in February. How awesome is that? So Be lighthearted and playful like Boo Boo the Fool. Make decisions from that space. Don't take things so seriously and get yourself back into a hyper controlling type of energy. Remember, we just came from that with the Hanged Man. We just learned that lesson in January to just surrender and release control of things we can't control. So keep that same energy in February when you're making decisions, and be grateful for the potentials and possibilities that come from that, especially as you listen and observe what happens as things unfold as a result of those decisions. So a lot of y'all are learning how to make decisions differently in February. Shout out to you. We love that. We love that. And I want to just send a little Reiki to that, because my hands are itching. So I'm like, okay, Spirit wants a little Reiki charge. So feel free to receive this Reiki charge. This is just going to support you all in learning how to make decisions differently in the way that you're meant to shift. Everybody's going to be a little different. We have a universal message of not taking things so seriously and releasing control and starting to frolic and play and be lighthearted and carefree in our decision making, instead of so serious and practical and logical. But what does it feel like you're meant to do? What is exciting for you to do? What is the decision that feels most inspiring and exciting and fun and light and open and playful? Make those decisions, okay? And I'm sending energy of Reiki, prana, life force energy to support you in your decision making this month. I'm sending love and light and energy to support you in hearing your intuition, being able to listen to the energy that surrounds you, that's guiding you at all times, listening to God, source, universe, listening to your heart and your inner being and your higher self and spirit guides. And so I'm just sending love and light with intention to make that an easier process for you, a fun and exciting process for you, a playful process for you, and a process that opens up to an immense amount of potential and possibilities in your life in February. Shout out to y'all. You're doing it. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Okay. So we got those channeled messages and that card pull done. I'm super excited and loving that. Let's talk astrology. We already started to talk about the full moon in Leo, February 1st, which is today. February 1st is the first day of February, aligning to the energy of connection, okay? February 2, the second month of the year, okay? We are experiencing an alignment, the first day of the month, aligning to the 2110 is really the energy of numerology, which would be 4. And so we're creating a new way of being. This is the new structure of decision making, the new way of decision making that is allowing for us to align to deeper connection with ourself, our true self, and also with spirit, the universe, and in any relationships and connections you have. So you may notice that some of the decisions you make this February, or that you're called to make, are going to be relating to your relationships. You may be called to let a relationship go. You may be called to evaluate if you want to continue a relationship in a certain way, or if you want to shift it. You may even feel a deepening of your relationship with spirit, which is going to be really beautiful as well. And you may absolutely, more likely than anything, feel a deepening of relationship with yourself and a deepening of connection with yourself. Okay. And that's beautiful. That's such a good energy. And 4 is like the season. It's like the ability to even have some challenges to create better processes for how you're making decision. So this is really good energy. This is also the shortest month of the year, y'all. So this is one of those things that kind of represents that fire horse Chinese astrological year of 2026, where we are kind of in this quickening energy, and we felt it. I mean, how many of y'all, double tap if you've been feeling like things really picked up for you this year already? Like things have just been happening super quick. You're just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's that fire horse energy. And like I said in the beginning of this reading, some of you may not be feeling that yet because you still have some stuff to burn away from 2025. And if that's the case, that's okay. Definitely learn how to tap more into this energy and let go of any seriousness or heaviness you feel about that. And the more that you can step into that lightness, that lightheartedness, the more that you'll be able to release the things that are weighing you down. But if you're feeling that quickening energy, that's the fire horse energy that is 2026. And we're also going to feel that just as much in February, because February is our shortest month. And we start it off with a bang with the full moon in Leo, roaring in its energy and its pride and its expression. We're going to feel a lot of voice activations, okay, in February, or coming out of it like I am. And I really do feel like this laryngitis that I had is the worst laryngitis I've ever had in my life. And it came out of nowhere, all because I was watching the IU game that my brother cheers for IU. And it was his first year cheering for IU, and they won the college championships. And I just lost my mind and was screaming for like maybe an hour, and then woke up with no voice for 2 weeks. It's been so. This is actually the most I've talked consistently since. So I'm really proud that my voice is handling it. But I also recognize it's starting to get a little weird. But I say all that to say, voice activations. Think about the lion, the Leo, the full moon in Leo, burning away what's not in alignment. We're releasing restraint on our throat chakra. The lion roars, okay? The lion roars with pride and confidence, unapologetically, and the lion roars with intention, okay? And that's something that I really want to highlight. Spirit is really speaking on this for me. As I'm talking, I'm just feeling it and hearing it so clearly. Speaking with intention is the key in February. Do your due diligence to make sure that what you speak is in alignment to what you're wanting to create. I know that we know this, thoughts become things, and then words are spoken into existence. But this month in particular is true for that. We really want to allow ourselves to roar or speak with intention. What are we wanting to create with our words? And are the words we're speaking allowing creation and supporting creation of the things we want? Or are we speaking things that we actually don't want to occur? And that's going to help us in keeping us aligned to that playfulness energy. Because if we start to speak things negatively about our life or about our experience or about our relationships or about ourselves or other people, we're no longer in this carefree energy. We're starting to take things too seriously. We're starting to criticize and judge things. And the throat chakra is all about judgment. It's also about acceptance. It's also about authenticity and expression. And I did a whole live last week about Trap Alchemy Tuesday on Tuesday about your truth. And do you trust your truth? And are you letting yourself speak your truth? And are you silencing yourself? Are you restricting and constricting your throat chakra? And so this full moon in Leo, I know I'm kind of hovering on it for a second, and we're going to move on in a second for the rest of the astrological influences for February. But this is a big one because we are meant to burn away the things that aren't serving us. And we're not meant to keep speaking with such recklessness. We need to speak our truth, and we need to not silence ourselves of our truth. It's almost like Spirit, the way Spirit is saying it to me right now is that we've got things backwards. We've been doing things backwards when it comes to our expression. A lot of us have been speaking things that we shouldn't be speaking and silencing the things that we should be speaking. A lot of us have been speaking things that we shouldn't be speaking and silencing the things that we should be speaking. So we should be speaking our truth. We should be speaking positively so that we can really manifest what we want with our words. We should be speaking authentically. We should be speaking with intention. Okay. But a lot of us are not doing that. A lot of us are silencing that voice within us, and instead are speaking the negative things, the fears, the doubts, the judgments, speaking fearfully and recklessly. And so Spirit is saying, switch that, okay? Speak the truth and authenticity, and really speak positive, intentional energy, and stop speaking the heavy, negative, misaligned frequencies. Does that make sense? Double tap if that makes sense. Thank you, Divine CC, for reminding me to hydrate. I did not do good with this slippery elm today. It is just like so chunky monkey. All right. Let's move on. Okay. Oh, before I move on, there may be a little drama starting today or around the energy of today with the full moon in Leo. Leo loves drama. Leo also loves attention. So you may notice that the people in your life that love to be the center of attention or love drama and love gossip might be even more prone to pulling you into that energy. Try not to entertain that, please. It's not worth your energy. We're trying to stay in the lighthearted, free flowing space. And you can't really be here if somebody's in your ear trying to gossip you or trying to, you know, take your attention from what you're focusing on to make it about them or create drama that is none of your business. Just let that go. Okay. Big emotions and powerful personalities also going to be kind of intense today. Tomorrow we have Uranus in Taurus, which will be the time when the Uranus goes direct. Okay. So Uranus is going direct, which is really great. This is going to give us more of an opportunity to be adamant about what we believe and about our higher intellect and about our dreams and mainly our belief systems. Okay. This is where we get to be open-minded, but also speaking our truth and standing 10 toes down on what we believe and what we know to be true. Okay. Then February 26th or February 6th, Mercury enters Pisces. This is going to be kind of a Valentine's Day prep. We're going to feel a little bit more sweet and dreamy and poetic with our communication. Mercury is the communication planet. And then Pisces is a very dreamy, poetic, creative, considerate, unconditional, loving sign. And that's very exciting. Okay. That's very exciting because this is going to be giving us more emotional intellect. It's going to give us more sensitivity to energy. And we're going to be feeling more confident, especially with that throat chakra activation with the moon, Leo full moon tonight. We're going to feel more confident in expressing sweeter, poetic, emotionally intelligent, unconditionally loving things to ourselves and to others, which I think is going to be really great. We may feel a little sensitive energetically, but that's going to be for the purpose of being able to sense that energy and speak on it. Okay. I don't know what my upstairs neighbors are doing. They sound like they're wrestling, but just ignore it. They're on that full moon Leo. Okay. They're trying to get that energy. They're trying to get that attention from us. Because they love drama. I don't know. February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, another Venus activation. Your Sage is asking what day. That was February 6th, Mercury entering Pisces with that dreamy, emotionally intellectual communication on February 6th. Now we're on February 10th. This is another Venus activation right before Valentine's Day. If you celebrate or not, doesn't matter. It's more so about the energy of the collective that's focusing its attention on love and romance that kind of activates more of that energy at that time, no matter what, because the collective energy focus, whatever we focus our attention on, becomes more intense and amplified. Okay. So February 10th, Venus enters Pisces. This is going to be more compassionate connection. This is going to be gentleness. This is going to be even idolizing romance a bit. This is going to be like the relationship goals, the bae goals content. We're going to be binging that. Okay. And I roll my eyes not to be facetious, but more so to just be like, okay, we're going to be like ooey gooey lovey dovey. Okay. Make sure that you don't get too caught up in that to where you're ignoring like the reality of things. Okay. I say that because, with the energy being so heightened in romance at that time anyway, I want to make sure that you all don't go too overboard to the point of getting disappointed because you've convinced yourself of some idealism that is not real in your life at the moment. For instance, if you're with somebody and you start watching all these romance movies and you're watching all this romance content and you're feeling all these, seeing all these reels with all these bagels and all this stuff. And you're like, oh, I just believe that, that's the best form of love. And you start to then become critical of your partner and start ignoring the beauty of your relationship because you're so wrapped up in what you are seeing outside of your relationship. that you're not recognizing. And it can also go in another way where you're trying to have this perfect relationship and then you're not getting it, so you're being hypercritical and kind of feeling disappointed, and then that creates a lack of balance. Okay. This can also be a little bit fiery and romantic. That transit's going to last throughout February, the middle of February. So that's going to be really our main influence for Valentine's Day, which is very much on point. So just make sure that you don't do too much overboard energy with that, to where you are taking advantage or not, or taking for granted, not taking advantage, taking for granted the beauty of the relationships that you have in your life. And especially for y'all that are single this Valentine's Day, don't get so wrapped up in like, oh, I need a partner. Like, I'm so sad, I'm alone. And all these people are having all these romantic things and I'm alone. Romance yourself, okay? Romance yourself. Okay, don't sleep on the opportunity to romance yourself. Take yourself on an epic date. Do something you love to do. That's one of the best things about being single, is that you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. And you can't usually do that in a relationship. Not saying that you can't have that freedom, but more so if you want to do something with your partner and you want to do it and they're not really into that thing, it might change your experience if you do it together, or it might keep you from doing it as often as you would. So enjoy the opportunity to do what you want, how you want, when you want, and romance yourself if you're single this Valentine's Day. Okay. And then we have the new moon in Aquarius, which is also a solar eclipse on February 17th. This is where we're going to see some energy shaking up. Okay. We're going to finally feel a little bit of like balance from all the lovey-dovey stuff. And it's going to be a jolt. It's going to be a new era. I was just talking to my friend this morning and I was like, this is a new era. This is a new era. And so I love that this is showing up in the astrological influences for February 17th, where the new era really comes online. This is a really great precursor to the official astrological new year on March 21st. This is where we're going to feel more inclined to embrace our authentic self. And it may ruffle some feathers. It may shake things up. It may create a little bit of drama. But that's okay. That's okay. Let it be what it is, because you're meant to shake things up. The Aquarius energy is the trendsetter. It is innovative. It is unique. It often is misunderstood before the trend really gets traction. And so let yourself be a new trend. Let yourself be be in a new era, regardless if people are fully accepting of it or embracing it in the beginning or not, because eventually they will get on board, because they'll realize that it's the new you and they have no choice. And it's really not the new you. It's always been you, but it's just a more expressed version of your truest self, which is awesome. All right. Almost the last influence for February is February 25th. Mercury retrograde starts in Pisces. Okay. I actually feel like this is going to be kind of a little bit of a gentler Mercury retrograde than usual, because it's in Pisces. Pisces, again, like I said, is very emotionally intellectual, very unconditionally loving, very dreamy, very poetic. It can also be very emotional. Okay. Like hyper emotional sometimes. And so that is probably the most sticky and like crazy energy that we may feel in this Mercury retrograde starting on February 25th. I think that is pretty decent compared to other Mercury retrograde alignments. Okay. Because really what this is saying is that when we experience the challenges in our communication that Mercury retrograde often brings, in order for us to refine our communication, we are meant to allow those challenges to shape us. And with this Mercury retrograde in Pisces, it's going to shape us in helping us evolve emotionally. It's going to help us not take things so personally, okay? Which is also supporting our Boo Boo the Fool kind of carefree energy. We're going to learn how to take things not so personally. We're going to learn how to see the real core of what somebody's communicating, instead of hearing exactly what they say or how they say it. They may not say it the right way, that they may not say it in a way that feels good, or they may not use the words that feel good or the tone that feels good. But I think we're going to be able to hear them clearly through their emotions, through their intention, through their expression, through our intuition, our intuitive perception of it. So that's going to be an easier, I think, more intuitive path of Mercury retrograde, which I think is going to create a little bit more of a gentle retrograde energy. I will say that our imagination, our ability to dream and perceive and predict or forecast or assume things may end up being our a bit of our biggest challenge, because we may dig ourselves in a hole by imagining something that we make up in our heads, getting mad at something we make up in our heads, jumping to conclusions, assuming before we should, creating crisis out of nothing. So be grounded, okay? Be grounded. Make sure that you really feel into the energy and use that Piscean, intuitive, creative, poetic energy to see things from a little bit of a different perspective so that it can be softer. So be softer in the way that you receive communication, and be intentional with how you receive it and intuitive with how you receive it for that intellectual maturity to really come online, okay? Oh, your birthday is on 222. What an epic birthday. Let me look and see if there's an influence on 222 for you. Okay, February 22, 222 portal. Venus is in Pisces, trine Jupiter in Cancer. This is another kind of version of Valentine's Day. It's a romantic day, really ideal for dating and mending relationships, feeling really optimistic and romancing life, feeling like confident and courageous and declaring love, and having fun. So this is a really great day. 222 portal is a really great day to be carefree, loving, dancing through life, fun and flowy, and it'll also activate our possibilities and potential for February and moving forward. So love that. Shout out to your birthday, Portal 222. That's epic. How are we feeling, y'all? That is our influences for astrology. We pulled some cards. Booba the Fool, dancing our way through life, not taking things too seriously, unfurling our brow and letting ourselves be playful in our decision making, and allowing ourselves to be softer and more gentle in that, and finding gratitude in the opportunity to do so, because that opens up a lot of the potential and possibilities that we have, especially as we listen really clearly to what happens after we do that process, that new process of decision making. We talked about the intense excitement of love and pleasure and joy and romance that's happening throughout the mid of February into the end of February. We also talked about releasing a lot of things through our throat chakra, and also releasing things that aren't in alignment, making sure we're speaking with intention, and making sure that we are letting that Leo full moon tonight really support us in burning away the last bit of the snakier skin that we're shedding, things that we learned in 2025, lessons that we know we need to apply in our life so that we can move on from certain chapters from 2025 that were challenging us in order to make us better and in order to evolve us. Don't let the challenges of 2025 not evolve you. If you don't let them evolve you, then you're going to be more in that stuck energy. You've got to take the lessons you learned from 2025 and apply them so then you can move forward. Okay. So you can move forward into this fire horse energy, because this fire horse energy wants us to pick up the pace. It's forcing us to pick up the pace. It's forcing us to be more lighthearted, not carry so much baggage. Okay. And just really trust the process. And so let go of the things that are keeping you from doing that. All right. Join me February 20th through 23rd for the Conscious Life Expo. Like I said, I will be presenting a guided past life regression journey on that Friday, the 20th at noon. That is a free event with the basic ticket price package that you get for that day or that weekend. Then I'm going to be in I can't remember what the title is. It is, I think, the Awakening of the New World, or New World Awakening, or something like that, panel on Saturday morning. If you click my picture on the Conscious Life Expo website, which you will find that link in my bio. Make sure to use the link in my bio to get to that. And then just go to the homepage. But you'll be able to scroll down and see my picture. When you click my picture, it'll show you the events that I'm hosting. And then the Vibes Vortex, the official after party of the expo, all 3 nights we have music and entertainment for you to enjoy, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. We are going all night and really helping us ground our energy, okay? Ground our energy after the intense activations that we're going to be experiencing all day in the expo from morning to night. We're going to come back together after all of that and go dance and vibe and sing and play in the Vibes Vortex, which is going to be in the downstairs area of the LAX Hilton. And it's a really awesome portal that I curated for everybody to feel integrated and really move that energy that they experience throughout the day in their bodies, through their bodies, ground it and integrate it to prepare for the next day. So we've got a show every single night of the expo. Friday night, we're doing high vibe hip hop with Mellow Will, Shariah Wise, Peachka, myself, and some others. Then we've got the Starseed Sirens pop experience. So there's going to be a lot of pop energy and a little bit of house energy with that as well. We're going to activate some of that siren soul songstress energy with artists like Maya and Ashir Soul and myself. And then Sunday night, we're doing a conscious Stargate speakeasy where we're going to have kind of like a conscious club experience with DJ sets and dancing, comedy, conscious comedy to kick it off so that we laugh and get that energy moving in our lightheartedness for that Boo Boo the Fool carefree experience, playfulness experience. And then we're going to have Sunrise the Divine performing. And then we're also going to do a little cipher, freestyle cipher, where our throat chakras are going to be able to just express in the moment, in real time, whatever they want to express. All the artists will come together to do that. And anybody that feels confident and wants to let their throat chakra express themselves in alignment to these messages today for February can do so as well. It's going to be awesome. So I hope to see you there. Make sure to click the link in my bio. Let me know if you're coming. DM me so that I know so I can look out for you while I'm there and give you a big hug. But the link is in my bio for the Conscious Life Expo. I'll see you there. Happy February. Happy second month of 2026. Remember, we are aligning with that 4 energy this month. Okay, 2026 equals 1 or 1-0, which equals 1 plus the 2, which is today is the 4. So I guess February in general is 3. So that's actually something I want to mention because I did say it was a 4 energy for February 1st, which is today. But the energy of February numerologically is 3, which is harmony. Okay. Mind, body, and spirit, harmony, past, present, future, masculine, feminine, inner child, all those 3 compartments of ourself finding harmony. So making sure that you're honoring that as well and using that harmony to support your manifestations, speaking, thinking, feeling things into existence, right? Acting on that creativity and manifestation in alignment to what you desire as well. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Come to the Conscious Life Expo. Love y'all so much. It's in Los Angeles, February 20th through 23rd at the LAX Hilton Hotel. Click the link in my bio. If you have questions, please DM me and I will give you as much of the information that you may need. And I'll see you there. I'm so excited. And then I will be back here for another energy update for March on March 1st at 1:11 p.m. Eastern Time, live on TikTok and on YouTube. If you want my YouTube channel, go to YouTube Rissa Vibes. If you want my TikTok channel, go to Rissa Vibes on TikTok. All right. I love you all so much. And then my Instagram is Rissa Vibes Official. Go stream my music. I've got music out all the time. I've got a huge catalog. Rissa Vibes on all streaming services for some high vibe, hippie, soul, songstress energy. I got it all. So I love you all so much. If you want a reading, if you're looking for a 6-month forecast or a past life regression, I think my website still has my 6-month forecast on sale. I will go ahead and keep that up today for any of you who want a 6-month forecast and want to schedule that in the next coming days. Go ahead and jump on my YouTube channel on my YouTube channel, my website, www.rissavibes.com, and go schedule a past life regression or a 6-month forecast so that you can have that support. It's on sale still today. I never changed it from the semi-annual sale a couple weeks ago, and I just realized that. So I'm going to go ahead and give you all that for one more day, and then I'm going to change it tomorrow, just because I feel like it. Just because I feel like it, and it can support you. So I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for saying you love my music. I appreciate that support. My music has my heart. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's one of my biggest passions, and I'm going to go rest my voice now so that I can make sure that I come correct fully with my voice for the Conscious Life Expo, so I can perform all my music for all of you. It's going to be really epic. I'm doing a lot of my rap and hip hop on Friday night with the crew, with the Affirmation Avengers, and then I'll be doing a lot of my soul songstress, pop, starseed pop type of vibes on Saturday night. So you'll get to see all of it from me that weekend if you come to the expo, which I pray you do. I really want to see you and give you a big hug. So can't wait. Talk to you then. Have a wonderful month. Remember to stay in that carefree, playful energy, make decisions from that excited and happy space. And I'll see you on YouTube and TikTok again for another energy update on March 1st at 1:11 p.m. Eastern time. I also go live on TikTok with More Love Mondays and Trap Alchemy Tuesdays, Monday and Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. This week, I will be doing a More Love Monday, but Tuesday I will probably not do a Trap Alchemy Tuesday because Tuesday's my real only day where I have no appointments, where I can just rest my voice completely. And I really want to give myself that, given that I've got today that I did this reading and a couple things tomorrow. I want to just give my voice a full day of rest on Tuesday since I can. So definitely join me live on Monday on TikTok for More Love Monday. It'll be our first one of 2026, which I'm excited about. All right. Love you all so much. Have a good one. Bye. Love you guys.